Well, today's not a day for outdoor gardening. There's white stuff on the ground. I'm sure it could be worse, because some of you probably have a lot of white stuff. We just have enough to cover everything. And today it's quite foggy out, so we're getting frozen fog on the trees in addition to the snow. Today I thought I'd take you along with me while I put together some Firecider. This is one that I made in August, and anytime I feel the sniffles coming on, I drink some of it. Well, I try to drink it every day, but I don't always remember. I need to put a little more vinegar in this one. This one I put together a couple of days ago. And I just need to shake it around periodically, like once a day for a while. So I'm going to show you what all I'm putting in this. First of all, I'm going to put the powdered things down in I'm going to put it in a quart jar. Here I have some garlic powder, which put a little bit in there. Not a lot, because I have some real garlic that I'm going to put in also. That needs to be, there we go. I had a clump in there. I'm going to put in a little bit of ground up peppers, hot peppers that I grew myself and ground up. I'm also going to put some cayenne pepper in. I'm going to put a little bit of fennel seed in there, and these are from fennels that I grew myself. Not a lot. Okay, a couple of pinches. And I'll catch the ones that I spilled. There we go. A couple of pinches of rosemary. Actually, we'll just, there you go. Some oregano leaves, and these are, just stick it all in there. Those are dried oregano leaves from oregano out of my garden. I have some store-bought oregano powder too, but I don't think I'll add it. Okay. So I'm going to get, you know what I found works best for, and I don't have it in here. Gosh, it's in the dishwasher. Maybe this will work. I have a flat ice cream scoop that works really good for let's see if this works. Yeah, this works too. Just kind of for squishing my garlic. I'm going to put the wrappers and all in there. They say the wrappers have garlics and onions have quite a bit of nutrition that we tend to overlook. So this is a whole garlic bulb that I'm putting there. Not a very big one, really. It's a fairly small one. Whoa, that went everywhere. Hold on, gotta clean it up. Okay, I'm back. I rescued the one that flew away. I think something flat would work easier, but sometimes you use what you've got. Okay, next I'm putting in onion. And on the one I did yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I put in the wrapper around the onion. This one had already been. Well, normally what I do, the wrappers and the onions, I put them all in a separate sack, and eventually I take them out and use them as mulch in my garden. Okay, these are kind of loosely cut into pieces. And that was a big onion, so what you see there is a little under a half of it. The measurements in these are just kind of arbitrary. The goal is to have something that what I'm going to do is ferment it, actually, and the goal is to have something that's very strong, because it's extremely good for building immunities. Okay, so my next thing that I've got several things in this bag here. Okay, my next item is a jalapeno, and I'm going to use the whole thing except for this stem. I'm just going to cut up into little pieces. Okay, so it goes in seeds and all. Well, I was trying to put that in there without getting too much of it on my hands. I guess I'll just have to bite the bullet there. I should be wearing gloves dealing with the peppers, but that's okay. I'll just remember not to rub my eyes until my hands have had a good chance to get clean. Okay, I think I got all the seeds in. Okay. Since I've got this ice cream scooper thing out, I'm going to do a little pushing down on this. Oh yeah, that works pretty good. Push down so that I have room for more. Oh, and I just realized I forgot to turn the sound off on the TV. There we go. Hopefully that wasn't annoying to you. It was just Nancy quilting. Okay, so what I'm cutting now is turmeric. That's the first time I've actually bought a turmeric root. I've got turmeric powder that I use all the time, and then we have turmeric pills that we take with our vitamins. So, cutting them into small little pieces here. Okay, turmeric is in. Okay, this is horseradish, and there are two ways that I could process this. Oh, my zester is in the dishwasher, so I'm just going to do it this way. I'm just going to take my knife and cut it into small bits. My cutting board's made out of glass. That's why it makes so much noise. I love this cutting board. It used to be my mom's. After she passed away, this was one of the things that I got. And again, making this into small pieces. I'll put this amount in, and I'm going to cut up some more, because the more of something really pungent, like horseradish, and I can smell it. It's making my nose run a little bit already. I'm not peeling it. If I were going to make a sauce to put on some meat, which I did the other day, and it was really good. My mom loved horseradish. For me, it's kind of an acquired taste. As long as I don't eat it real often and don't have too much of it, I like it. But in this, it needs to be strong and pungent, so I'm going to make more. I'm going to cut more. In small pieces. Okay, I'm going to leave a little bit so that I have some for when I fix some beef. It tastes really good with beef. Okay, this is ginger, and I'm going to, again, cut it into small pieces. And ginger tends to be pretty pungent too, and it's hot and spicy. Sometimes I use ginger, fresh ginger. This was from the grocery store, so it's most likely not organic, but I've used it to make ginger bug, so that I can make my own ginger ale. It's been a while since I've done that. Now the other ingredient, two other things that I'm going to put in here kind of seemed odd to me when I was researching the recipe. It's to put some orange and some lemon in. Also the zest. I am going to have to get that zester out of the dishwasher, I guess, because I need zest for my orange. Oh, I guess I didn't put it in the dishwasher. What did I do with it? I know I washed it, or I was going to wash it. Just a minute. It might be in my drawer here, hiding on me. I don't know what I did with it. Do you ever put something somewhere where you think you know where it is, and then you can't find it? Oh, I know where I put it. I didn't put it where I thought I put it. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to zest some of the orange, and so that I can collect that zest a little better, I'm going to get a dish out here to collect the zest. When you're zesting citrus, make sure you don't zest too hard, because you don't want to get the white stuff, the white pithy stuff. It tends to be bitter, which I guess for this it's not going to matter. It's going to taste pretty pungent anyway, but okay, so there's some and some lemon zest. When I did my Firecider back in August, I didn't put any citrus in it, but several of the recipes I looked at called for citrus, so I'm putting in the citrus. Then I'm going to cut the lemon up into some small pieces. And again, I'm doing this on the plate so that if it squishes out juice, I can retrieve that juice. And some of the orange. I'll leave the rest of that orange for some yummy eating. It's been a while since I actually had an orange. I don't eat a lot of oranges because they're pretty high in sugar content, and I watch my sugar content like a hawk. Well, sometimes. Push again here. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit more of that cayenne powder on the top here. Just so that. Okay, I'm also going to add some crushed red pepper. I am making double sure that this is going to be hot, hot, hot. And some peppercorns. Whole black peppercorns. Pimienta negra entera. Okay. I think that's it for what I'm going to put in it. Now I'm going to put apple cider vinegar. Interesting. This vinegar says flavored, apple cider flavored distilled vinegar. That's interesting. It would be flavored. Okay, this has to have enough vinegar in it. You know, but since that says flavored, I'm supposing that white vinegar would do the same trick. This has to work its way all the way down. I'm going to take a knife and kind of go around the sides here, like you would if you were canning something, to make sure that we've got air bubbles out and that the vinegar has gone all the way to the bottom. And it's looking like I might have it pretty much down. I'll need to add a little bit more, yeah, because I'm finding some air pockets for it to go down into. Now the one I did the other day, and the one I did in August, I put a grape leaf on the top. But I only preserved one grape leaf. I put it in the freezer. And I don't have another grape leaf. My grapes outside are very in winter mode, so there are no leaves on them. So I just have to make sure that this top stays covered. Purpose for the grape leaf is just to make it stay covered. Okay, I'm going to try something. Okay, that didn't work. I was looking in the fridge to see if I had any pickles that left that still had a grape leaf on the top, but I've eaten them all. Okay, so I'm going to put a little more vinegar in, and then I'm going to put a lid on and a ring. and label this Firecider and today's date. Okay, and now it gets on a shelf where it's cool and dark, and it stays there for, I don't know, several months. And I remember to shake it periodically. I think this is eventually going to need a little bit more vinegar in it to get the powder that I put down. I should have put the powder kind of in the middle somewhere, because it's not pulling it down. I was starting to. But that, my friends, is how I make Firecider. If you want a recipe, just do a research on Google. You'll find tons of recipes. They're not all the same. I think everybody makes it just a little different. But it's really good for you. It's really hard to drink, but it's really good for you. Well, I was glad to get that done. Making Firecider is a pretty easy process, and not all that expensive. I mean, yeah, you have to buy the horseradish and the ginger and turmeric, the peppers, if you don't have peppers in the garden, which I, this time of year, obviously don't. And the idea is to make it as pungent as you can and to ferment it. I will leave it fermenting for at least a couple of months, maybe longer. I don't know if you noticed, the one that I did in August, I still left all of the stuff inside. Most people will strain out the liquid and put the liquid in a dark jar, but I haven't done that. I kind of like keeping the things in there, because they're probably pretty pickled, judging by the strongness of it. And I could just take them out and eat them. I think most people, a lot of people give those to their animals. I don't have, well, my only animals I have are my cats and my worms. So I don't think either one of them would appreciate something that pickled. So other people use it as mulch for their garden, and I could do that. For now, it's staying in the jar. Anyway, so I have the one jar that I did in August that I'm taking some of at least several times a week. And then I have the 2 new jars that will be fermenting away, so that I will always have in my possession some Firecider. This is kind of a new concept for me as I learn more and more about being healthy, strengthening my immune system, gardening, even homesteading, if you will, although it's a stretch to call my little garden a homestead. But kind of in YouTube, the people I hang around with, I think, are mostly homesteaders. Well, some of them are just gardeners like me, but they call themselves homesteaders too. Anyway, I hope you got a little bit out of this and learned how to make some Firecider of your own. The other thing that I would like to do, I've never had elderberry syrup, and I understand that's equally good for me. So I'm going to have to break down and buy. I'm a cheapskate, so if I hate buying things that are already made online, and I've tried to start some elderberry plants, and I have not been successful so far. But I'm going to keep trying because I think that elderberry syrup would be really good for me too. Anyway, I'm going to invite you to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell if you haven't already. If you want to, I'm not going to make anybody do that. But if you like what you see, feel free to share it with other people so that I can get a few more subscribers. I like to share what I do with you all. And until I make my next video, may the good Lord richly bless you. Bye for now.